first started thinking about rainwater harvesting when I was a kid actually, and much to my parents' horror, I started to collect rainwater from our bath. I put a tank at the bottom of the downpipe, and when we moved to this property in 2019, there were 2 sheds, quite a large roof space on the house, and a greenhouse, and a vegetable area. And it just seemed like a sensible thing to do, really, thinking about saving water. And then, of course, COVID came along. And then I started thinking that actually I'm quite forgetful, quite lazy. And I spend quite a lot of time away in the summer for work. And we wanted to grow vegetables, particularly the greenhouse. And obviously the greenhouse dries out really quickly. So I started to think, how could I make that a bit more efficient, both from a watering point of view and a water conservation point of view. In the end, I came up with what I thought was quite a good solution, a 12-volt pump, and then I could get a small solar panel that I could put on the shed roof, which would charge the battery, which would give me enough power to run the pump during the summer months. By the end of COVID, I had 3 IBCs, 4 water butts, which equates to probably around 4,000 litres of water. So this is one of the first IBCs that we got for the garden. This is this 1,000 litre tank. So if you come a bit closer, you can have a look and you can see it's in this metal cage and it's got a big hole in the top there. So we already had the shed here, and the shed already had gutters on it. So all it was a question of doing was basically shortening the downpipe here. But you can also see that I painted this one black as well to stop that issue of algae build-up, because they are white, mostly when you look for them online. And we also clad this one in wood just to make it look a little less incongruous in the garden. So if I open this up, I'll just show you our dipping tank for our watering can. So yeah, the water comes in under gravity through the filter, and then this here is a little valve. So if we start to take water out, I'm going to just take a watering can's worth of water out. The valve opens, so it's a float valve. So I'm just going to show you the pump. So this is the first thing that I ended up buying after I got the IBC. So this is the 12-volt pump. The water comes in here from the IBC. The water goes through the pump and then goes through another filter which takes out the really fine particles which can block up the little drippers. The water then splits here. So these 2 are called solenoid valves, and they're connected to the this control panel here, which is then connected to my app on the phone, which means I can switch these on and off remotely. So I was going to just show you what I've done in the greenhouse. So this is really where it all started. So I was just going to explain how this works. But this is really the sort of final iteration, I suppose, after 3 or 4 years of adjusting and tweaking. So this is the main feed pipe where the water comes from the pump, which is obviously connected to the IBC. And then you've got these 2 solenoid valves which act like taps, and they electronically switch on and off the water flow. So this pipe here is a mister, and then we've also got this circular pipe that runs all the way around the edge of the greenhouse, and that's connected to the individual drippers which are feeding water directly to the roots of all the tomato plants. So we're here now in the vegetable bed, and I've got the same setup here. So I've got the valve here which I can control from the app, and then this is the feed pipe coming from the pump, which is obviously connected to the IBCs that are behind the shed. And then this is connected to this hose, which is called soaker hose, and you can just kind of lay this on the surface of the soil, and then once the pump switches on, this kind of just weeps water out very slowly. This is quite a good way, again, of conserving water and not using huge quantities of water. So definitely we use that in the summer when it's really hot. And also you can bury this as well under sort of mulch. So you could mulch this with compost or some sort of grass clippings. And again, that just reduces the amount of evaporation as well of water. So again, it's all about trying to reduce our water use and save as much of that water as we possibly can.